Welcome to Midway Minute, everybody. I'm Scott Koral. He is Kevin Kaduk. And who's the Mac?
that would be me.
Mack McLendon is with us.
How you guys doing?
Man, we're doing good. How are you is the question.
And I'm doing fantastic. Doing awesome.
The other night, Bulls were playing Orlando. You had on the Bulls jersey, the Jordan jersey, and probably more Adam Amin than Stacey King decided to just lay into you.
Yes, he did.
What were your thoughts when you found out? You were still at the game when you found out.
I didn't find out exactly what was going on till about midway through the third quarter. And they have been doing this, I guess, all the way up until that point. And there's people in the crowd waving and pointing, but I'm just thinking I'm a Bulls fan in Orlando. So I'm just waving and, just go Bulls, And I got a text message from my cousin in Columbus, Ohio, a guy named Anthony Fortner. And he said, hey, not for nothing, but I'm watching the game and I swear they're talking about you. But I thought it was just a passing, through the crowd or whatever. And I didn't know they spent 10 minutes on my jersey. So then my girl who was sitting next to me, she looked it up and I was like, oh my God. The only thing I could think of was my jersey's real. I was like, I swear it's real.
Can you tell us about the jersey? I saw you on Twitter say that it is real. It's actually just real old, right?
Right. That was the first jersey I'd ever bought. I had just got a job that paid me decent money and I had enough money. I bought it from a Champs sporting goods store in Boardman, Ohio, actually. I forget how much I paid for it, but that was probably back in 92. Okay. So, that jersey it's been through a lot. It's been through a lot, but that is an authentic hardwood classic Mitchell and Ness jersey.
That's awesome.
Now, Mac, you said you grew up, this was off air, but you told us that you grew up not too far from Youngstown, Ohio, which isn't too far from Cleveland. Granted, it's a couple hours, but you couldn't get into the Cavs. I just wonder, how couldn't you get into the Cavs there?
And I can answer that just by saying, when I started watching basketball, the Cavs didn't have Michael Jordan. So it was just, I watched and I saw that. Ron Harper was good, Craig Elo, them guys, but it wasn't MJ. Yeah. So I'm still waiting. I didn't give MJ a lot of press on that jersey in the 23 Bull. I'm waiting for him to give me a call.
So a lot of people on Twitter responded and said, hey, look, it's not really cool that the Bulls announcers were going after a Bulls fan. And the Bulls Twitter account responded pretty quickly and said, look, we're going to take care of Mac. We've got something headed his way. Have you had a lot of conversations with them? Maybe talked to Stacey or Adam or someone at the team?
I talked to, it's crazy. I talked to Stacey a lot, man. He's an awesome guy, by the way. A lot of people were giving them hate and saying a bunch of things. Look, I'm a stand-up comedian, so I can take it. And he called and he was like, hey, man, he apologized, but he didn't really need to. It's all fun and games. I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio, and trust me, I've been roasted a lot worse. But then the Bulls reached out and they thanked me for being a lifelong fan through the ups and through the downs. A lot of places reached out and it was like, man, but I always end that conversation by telling them my jersey's real. I just want y'all to know that.
Repping the shy. The shy. Matt, you've done, you said you were a stand-up comedian. You've done a little acting on the side. I happened to come upon a Publix supermarket commercial that you were in. Tell us about that. That was crazy.
It's crazy because I'm affiliated with a talent agency called Level Talent. So if anybody looking for people, I'm with Level Talent Agency. And just off a picture alone, the guys that made the commercial had reached out and said, can you come in? It's crazy because I was only in it for about 10 seconds, but that day was about 8-9 hours. But it's the process. I love the process. It was fun and those guys were great.
Yeah, so you actually go to a lot of Bulls games in Orlando when they come down? Is that a usual stop for you? And
Actually, I tried to, but it's a lot harder because Orlando has great fans too. So it's hard to get tickets. Funny story, I was only at the game because my boss, I work for Bonefish Grill in Longwood, Florida. And my boss, her name is Angie. She gave me tickets just because with COVID and everything going on, we've been working so hard in our cruise.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a Friday night off in a long time. That's the first Friday I had off in forever. So I wouldn't even have been there if it wasn't for her.
Yeah. So we are like not able to go to games up here. It's still shut down at the United Center. The Bradley Center up where Scott lives is also not the Bradley Center. The Fiserv Forum is shut down in Milwaukee. What do the Bulls look like up close? Like, what is your take on this team? We're headed into the Wednesday night game against the Pelicans. They're 9-14. They've hit a rough patch here. Like, do you think this team can pull out of it?
I have to believe so. We're a really strong young team, but as soon as it looked like everything's going, we're always hit with injuries. Injuries are killing. I love Patrick. I think he's great. I was a little worried when we drafted him. I was like, who is this guy out of Florida? He didn't even start at Florida, but man, I like him. I'm a UNC fan as well, so I follow Michael hard. But Kobe White, I like Kobe White, and Zach LaVine has to be an all-star this year.
So
if we can
did they send you gear?
Back,
did they send you gear, and are you upgrading your jersey to a current player, or?
I haven't received what they sent yet, but I think they said they were.
Okay.
I think they said they were. But if we can get Wendell Carter back healthy, we'll be okay. I believe a young team, I'm not thinking title yet, but as far as young teams and building goes, I think we'll be okay.
Mac, if the Bulls end up sending you a Cristiano Felicio jersey, are you going to wear it? I'm just wondering.
I'm going to wear it with pride because he plays for the Bulls.
You know, they are about to play the Pelicans, and rumors have been flying about the Bulls possibly trading for Lonzo Ball. Do the Bulls need him? And what do you think if the Bulls get him? How do the Bulls get better if that's the case?
I think they can use him. I think it can. It just depends on what they're trying to give up. I don't want to give up a lot for him, but people forget, man, he was the number 2 pick in the draft for a reason. And Lonzo can spread the floor, and he plays really hard defense. I think we need another person to guard the guards outside for defense. So Lonzo would bring that. It just depends on what we're going to give up. I would love a backcourt with him and LaVine and maybe bringing Kobe off the bench for a little bit, but I don't want to give up on the young guy just yet.
You impressed with Billy Donovan's job as opposed to the previous coach who will remain nameless.
Yeah, we don't even say that name in this household, but yes, he came here. We knew what we were getting. It's just a matter if he could reach the young guys. And I think he is. I think he does. And he preaches defense. We can see that. We're just lacking in the middle right now. We're just lacking in the middle. So, I mean, he'll get us right. Like I said, I'm not expecting, obviously, no title this year, but as long as we continue to show some growth, I'm not going anywhere. I've been a Bulls fan this whole time. So.
All right. Well, I mean, Mac, Orlando is calling. We want to come down there. Maybe we'll come see you in person because it's close to Disney. So we can, lunch is on you, not because you work at Bonefish Grill and it might be free. I'm just saying, but we're gonna work out with you, man.
Hey, I would love that, man. Whenever, just let me know and I'll be there, man.
Cool.
Mac, thanks so much for joining us on Midway Minute.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, guys. And I'll let you guys know when the packages come in and what they gave me.
Let's do it.
All right. Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.